this next video, we'll be discussing combining RETS with the SaeboStretch. The goal is to reduce hypertonicity by stimulating the extensors with the flexors on stretch and performing contract and relax using the dynamic hand pieces. To get started, use the channel A lead and place 2 stimulation electrodes over the wrist and finger extensors. The stimulation electrodes will be blue and yellow. You can use either of them proximal or distal. Once the electrodes are in position, turn on the device and increase the current being delivered until you get a sufficient contraction. Once you are pleased with the stimulation being delivered to the wrist and finger extensors, it is then time to address the flexors. You will use channel B, which is your EMG channel. There will be 3 EMG electrodes that you'll place on the wrist and finger flexors. The blue and yellow, as a reminder, can be positioned proximal or distal. And the black, which is your ground or reference electrode, can be placed anywhere on the arm. You will then turn on the unit and have the patient squeeze to fire their flexors to see if you're satisfied with the EMG electrode placement. Cover the electrodes with Coban wrap or something similar, and then apply the SaeboStretch onto the patient's arm. You will then apply stimulation to the wrist and finger extensors and adjust the activation and deactivation thresholds. With everything in place, the patient now has the ability to work on contract and relax while receiving stimulation to the extensors. The patient will flex against a handpiece, causing him to exceed the activation threshold. He will then relax, falling below the deactivation threshold, which will then receive stimulation to the finger extensors while the flexors are on stretch.